and excited for our Council on the Interstate Compact of Educational Opportunity for Military Children. That is a mouthful for us to say, but we are very appreciative to our audience and for our council members so that we are able to have a quorum and continue with business. I appreciate everyone traveling from across the state today to be here. And I would like to invite our council members to introduce or reintroduce yourself and share what you do outside of the council and any hopes you have for the work of this body. Senator Luck, I'm going to have you go first so we make sure that we can hear you. Could you introduce yourself, what you do inside and outside of the council, and so that our audience and our live stream audience can hear?
Okay, representing the 23rd City District, all of the city of Houston and part of the city of Virginia. When I'm not in Richmond, which is not most of the time, I'm there most of the time. I am a retired university.
Thank you so much, Senator Locke. We appreciate that. And I'm going to have Delegate Glass.
Okay, right. Good morning. I'm Delegate Glass. I represent the 93rd, I almost said 89. I represent the 93rd District of the House of Delegates. That's pretty much central Norfolk area. And outside of the General Assembly, I produce audio stories and I'm an instructional systems designer.
Thank you so much. And Tian?
Hi, good morning, everyone. My name is Tian Olsen. I'm a military spouse, and my husband served honorably in the Marine Corps for 27 years. And I got involved because our children, when they came to Virginia from Okinawa, Japan, on military orders, we experienced some challenge to try to seamless transition to the education system. And so from that point, I became very involved in advocating for seamless transition for military children, their credit being recognized by local school. I'm currently a federal employee, work for Department of Defense. Thank you, honored to be here.
Thank you, Tian. Admiral Lottie.
Rear Admiral Carl Lottie. I'm the Commander Navy Region Mid-Atlantic. I'm responsible for the U.S. Navy bases from South Carolina to Maine and out to Chicago, so 22 states. And I am designated as the DoD representative to the Virginia State Commission. I previously served as the DoD representative to the Connecticut State Commission. So I'm familiar with MIG-3 somewhat. And I have 6 children. Our youngest just moved here from Japan this summer into her senior year in public schools in Norfolk.
Thank you. And Superintendent?
Hi, my name is Vic Shandor. I'm a superintendent for the York County School Division. We have 13,000 students. Some of you who are from the South Side, you'll know where we are. We're a little, I guess, south of Williamsburg, next to Poquoson. Our school division has about 33% military impacted students. We're really proud this year. We have one of our schools was named a National Blue Ribbon School, and that school is Bethel Manor Elementary School. It actually is on Langley's Air Force Base, and they have 99% of their students who are military impacted. You're probably saying, well, what's the 1%? Well, the 1% is the staff members who choose to bring their children to that school. So, and sir, you win. You have 6 children. I only have 3. So my kids I have a sophomore in college, a junior in high school, and an 8th grader that all go to York County School Division. Thank you.
I really appreciate the council. I serve as the chair, as the state superintendent, but I also am a military spouse, military mom, and have 2 grandchildren whose father is in the military. So I have a lot of generational military experience in my family. My husband is actually in Hawaii today, getting ready for an exercise. So we deeply value the importance of MIG-3 and the work that it does to support our children across the Commonwealth. I do want to mention that Virginia has more military connected children than any other state in the country, and we are very proud of the work that happens for our children. You have draft minutes for our April 17th, 2024 meeting. Is there a motion to approve the minutes as presented? So moved. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Any discussion on the minutes? Great. Mr. Dunham, I'm going to turn it over to you to give us our Military Children's Compact Commission National Office Report.
we can get one moving to that presentation, it'd be great. So, that happened last week. So I was there from Tuesday, it was a travel day and it was very busy. We had 8 hours a day, the next 2 days, October 16th and 17th. And there you see, from right to left, Ohio's commissioner, someone who has my job in West Virginia right behind him, and Robert Shelley Weiss, who's from Wisconsin's commissioner. And then we have Ben Rasmussen, who is from Utah, and then Diana. And then you have right next to me, the Florida commissioner, and that's going to be important as we move forward. So you're going to hear about things involved with Florida. But that just shows you the kinds of things that the collegiality that we're able to have at least once a year with other states. It helps to foster relationships, and it helps us to kind of get the work done for our families when we have very complicated cases that come before us. And also, just making sure that we have the system in place that's strong and has all of the talent it needs and all of the materials and resources it needs, so that it can support military kids throughout the world action. So move on to the next slide here. This. So, during the meeting, we go through these things. We have executive reports, we go through the general counsel. The general counsel pretty much just sort of reports out on any engagement it may have with the commission related to whether or not a compact rule or law is really enforceable. Anything we might have questions about in terms of what that office might have in terms of compliance and things like that. And then we have standing committee reports. And so those are the standing committees right there that you see in front of you: compliance, training, communication, rules, leadership, and finance. And then there's one more that's not in there. I forgot to include it, but it's communications. I sort of think that training and communications work hand in hand. But I've highlighted 3 of them: compliance, rules, and finance. And the reason why I've highlighted compliance is because I'm on the compliance committee as commissioner designee, which, by the way, Dr. Coons, in addition to her other roles and responsibilities and titles, she's also by law the commissioner of the compact. She designates me as the commissioner designee. And so I stood in for Steve Bullard, who came down ill and wasn't able to attend. And so I stood in and read through that compliance report. The good news is that most of the states comply with the rules and the policies set forth by the commission. And so we really don't have too much in terms of compliance, but I do know that in the history of the compact, there have been cases where a state didn't want to behave according to the compact, and the compliance committee had to come in along with legal counsel to kind of have a high level conversation in order to move things forward. And so it's good that we have that. I'm going to move right along now next to the next slide and talk about the rule, not the next slide, the next bullet. I'm sorry, you can go back to the presentation, Kevin. And go back to the slide that I was just on with the, yeah, that's it. Thank you. So you have in your packet a rule, thank you for getting that, sort of statement, an advisory opinion, if you will. This one right here. You can share that. Here's some more we all can share. I don't have enough for everybody.
And Dan, is there a way we can get that to Senator Locke? Can we email that to
Yeah,
her?
we'll send that. We'll send all these meeting materials. But Senator Locke, what I'm reading now is just an example of an advisory opinion. And so this is an example of the engagement the Rules Committee might have with legal counsel. And this particular one, you all saw, I sent out a communication back in, I think it was June or July timeframe. The Rules Committee asked us for opinions on, this particular matter and another matter. And
And on this particular, in this particular case, they wanted to know what the scope, the rules committee wanted to know what the scope of the placement flexibility for local educational activity officials was authorized under the compact. And so they send this then to our legal counsel, general counsel, and they produce this report back. And so in this particular case, the conclusions on the next page here, you can see that the legal counsel pretty much said that states under the compact, the LEA in each state, pretty much has discretion over whether or not they accept or will accept or waive seat time, right? Or if they will award partial credit. So, for example, if a student moves from Colorado and they come to Chesapeake, and in Colorado, maybe they were on a 7-period day, they come to Chesapeake, and Chesapeake's on a 4x4 schedule, right? And so how are they going to facilitate they're continuing to get all of those courses when they can't take 7 periods. They only take a certain number of classes because they don't have as many classes since it's a 4x4 schedule. Am I making myself clear on that? Okay, so this basically says it's discretion of the LEA to kind of work with that student or to assist that student. We've had challenges in Virginia with this case when we have school divisions that don't award partial credit, especially when we're sending students away. So we'll send students away and then the school, the receiving school's counselor is not willing to award partial credit to students. But they need to see it on the transcripts and they need to see that 0.5 partial credit. So some school divisions have been willing to, and because it's in their school board policy to award a 0.5 partial credit. And then other school divisions don't have that in their board policies. And so therefore they're not able to award a 0.5 credit. And so we work with the receiving LEA and we try to muster we push it on them since they're the receiving state to kind of work it out. In some cases, we've worked it out. So that's what this is really all about. And this is helpful. It's helpful because in this particular case, I think Nevada wanted to see if in fact they could force an LEA to award a partial credit or to waive the requirements for seat time. And that's not the case. The legal counsel said you can't force school division to do that. That's a lot. I said a lot there, but if there are any questions about what I just said, let me know. But the reason why I bring it up, because if you go to the next slide, please, Kevin, because I think I'm having trouble with this. We were asked to provide different scenarios from time to time to the council, and we had a really challenging case. So we had a case that involved the state of Florida, and the student came to us from Florida his senior year, the beginning of his senior year, and he was on track in Florida to receive a diploma that had scholar designation attached to it. And in Florida, that's their highest, if you will, level of achievement. So if you take courses of rigor, you take, all AP courses, you do well on those tests and examination, you can get a diploma that has that designation, scholar designation. In order for him to reach something, to achieve our advanced diploma and in something I deem to be equivalent in terms of acknowledgement, he would have to take a 3rd year of Spanish that he didn't take. He wouldn't be able to take in Florida, and he would have to take an additional science. Now, what's challenging about this particular case is that the Spanish that he would have to take, the 3rd year of Spanish, he last took Spanish his sophomore year. So he's been away from the study of Spanish for 2 years. And if anyone knows about 3rd year Spanish, it's conversational. Very challenging if you haven't been on top of that subject or consistently for 3 years straight. And so that's what he would have to do in order to achieve an advanced diploma. So we asked Florida to consider allowing him to graduate with a Florida diploma. Virginia would facilitate the courses he needed to complete to satisfy Florida's graduation requirements, which was just English 12 and government. They refused. They said the compact did not apply and that they would not allow the student to graduate from Florida with a Florida diploma because he could graduate from Virginia with a diploma. With a diploma, which they believed was equivalent to their diploma, which is our standard diploma. So they were correct. The compact does not apply. All the compact says is that the student, if the student can satisfy the state's requirement for a diploma, then that student should go ahead and graduate from the receiving state and not, we wouldn't have to work with Florida. Now, that presents a challenge, and that's why we brought it up at the national convening, because I knew that there was this case study review that sometimes happens during breakout sessions, and it was the national's office decision to do that again this year. And so we had a unique opportunity to see how to feel out the room, so to speak, to see where commissioners might land on this. And I will tell you that most of them thought it was a non-issue, that it should just be something that's worked out between the states. And so that's how they really truly felt about it. But in the tier 1 session that I attended, the breakout session, I could see on the faces of folks that they were not very pleased with Florida's response. And so I'm a problem solver. I'm a creative person. I'd like to think through things and make sure that I give it a lot of thinking, and if there's any maneuverability, I'd like to consider it. In this particular case, I think there's a possibility for us to present the same sort of a request to the Rules Committee, at least asking them to consider an amendment to the definition of diploma. And so in my opinion, diploma should be the type at which the student intended to pursue at the time of his transfer. And so if it's possible for the student, if it's not possible for the student to satisfy the requirements of the same type of diploma or designation in the receiving state, then we should be eligible to work with the sending state to receive that designation or that diploma type, because that's just the right thing to do. And I think in this case, the right thing wasn't done, and that Florida, in my opinion, made the wrong call, but it's just my opinion. So I can't go with just my opinion. I have to go with what the rules and regulations say. So that's pretty much what happened there. And so I guess we will be I'll be working with you, Chairman, and you'll let me know if you want to move forward with that. But if we do move forward with a suggestion for an amendment, I guess the council will need to vote on whether or not they approve that or not. And we can do it today, or we can wait and do it in April. But if we do it in April, we would not have the opportunity for the Rules Committee to consider it this year.
Okay.
Okay.
Discussion on the name commission?
Just a quick question. For Florida's scholar designation, so this particular student, before he came to Virginia, was his course credit already satisfied the requirement for the scholar designation already?
Yes, ma'am. All he needed was English 12 in government
Which
to
was
satisfy the Florida
naturally.
diploma and the scholar distinction. He had already done all the courses rigor.
Okay. And because he would need another credit for foreign language, I understand the advanced
It's
diploma.
science.
Right, understand the how advanced diploma work. Science, like assume he can take the science at 12th grade. And for the Spanish 3, like you said, there was a break in study in the course. Here's my personal experience with our children and when they pursue the foreign language study. And our children, when they came from Okinawa, Japan, we sent them to Okinawa, Japan, Japanese public school. So by the time they came back, they were fluent in Japanese. Fluent in Japanese. So when I enrolled them into Japanese language course, I communicated with the local public school. They wouldn't let them to take more advanced Japanese class that asked them to take Japanese 1. So they took the foreign language credit exam, and which only qualified them up to Japanese 1, 2, 3. But meantime, they were fluent. They could just step straight into Japanese AP. So when I communicated with the county foreign language director, there was absolutely no, you cannot take the Japanese AP. The highest you can take Japanese 4, and they have 5 and so on. So what happens, we spoke to the Japanese teacher directly, had the Japanese teacher personally evaluate our children. And the Japanese teacher at the school said, welcome to Japanese AP class. And so I'm sharing that experience to say, for this particular student, we know there's a challenge for him. Maybe he's not able to ready to take Spanish 3, and just put the policy aside. We have a Spanish teacher evaluate him directly, see if he's ready to take Spanish 3.
The problem is he's not in Virginia, he's in Florida. So it's not our decision, it's their decision. We could definitely do that for a student transferring from Florida to Virginia. The problem is the student is transferring from Virginia to Florida. Florida's not choosing to do that.
No, yeah, you move from Florida to Virginia, and Virginia is doing everything they can to support the student, whatever the student decides. So if the student decides to settle, I shouldn't say settle, choose not to take on the additional courses so he can get advanced diploma, but rather just get a standard diploma. Or he can choose to pursue our advanced diploma and take on the additional course and on the additional, the science and the Spanish. So if he chooses that, he will get all the support he could possibly get from the school to help him through that course for the year. The thing is, it's going to be challenging. And so that we, as a compact, we're to reduce the stressors and the, extended challenge for students when they move from one place to another. So was he impacted by this PCS of his family? Absolutely. I heard some comments from some commissioner in my tier group about, well, people geo-batch all the time. So the dad could have gone and the family could have stayed back and done that. And the rest of us school liaison officers that were in the room, we're looking at, you were in there. We're not very happy with that response. But yeah, I mean, it goes in the face of the spirit of the compact. We're to minimize these challenges, and they had the flexibility just to take that. And I'm sorry if I didn't explain it correctly at first, man, but I'm coming from Florida.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Just,
Yeah.
can you read what you use language around intended? Can you read that one more time for me? As far as the new language.
Yeah, and I had it written down somewhere in my notes. So I'll send it out, but I think we should ask them to define diploma. And right now it's not defined in the compact. So when we define diploma, it should be that designation type, which the transferring senior intended and or would have been eligible to receive in the sending state upon successful completion of the course requirements.
Okay. I mean, I don't see why we wouldn't take action on that today. I mean, sometimes when policies or certain things are written, they're made to be broken when you have a situation that comes up such as this, that clearly we're all trying to lessen the burden for our military families. So I would support moving forward.
My question is that you said, did it seem like, is it an appetite thing that will follow after that, or would it be a conversation about rigor that will follow that between states? Because I'm just trying to figure out why. Let me not have station in Florida. Let me try to figure out why Florida does the way it does. But the question is even if we redefine that ability to say the intended diploma, will there be conversations about how they determine rigor versus how we determine rigor? Or is it just compact wise, everybody's like, well, let's just keep it as simple as possible? You know what I'm saying? 'Cause-
Yeah, without defining diploma, and this may not pass, right? There might not be an appetite for people for the council, for the commission to vote to accept it because of why you just said it, right? There would be put into question whether or not one state believes that diploma type is on equal platitude with the one in the receiving state. And so they could argue the fact that, well, it's not really equal, it's not really the same. So here's where I think it could work out. If you left the definition the way I had it, in the case of Florida, we could say, well, the child intended to graduate with a scholar distinction. In Virginia, your diploma type is standard with distinction. Our diploma type is standard without distinction. The next highest level is advanced diploma. And in order for him to earn our advanced diploma, he needs to complete the courses of rigor. We can't waive them, and we can't waive them without jeopardizing our academic integrity of a diploma. So that's not happening. So there would always need to be a conversation between states on what might be the most equal. And I think that's okay.
That's fair, right? So
Yeah.
what you're trying to do, or your recommendation would just open up a space for that conversation,
Yeah.
whereas right now, we really can't even have that conversation because it says, if you graduate, keep it moving.
Well,
Okay,
I will
makes
tell
sense.
you this, most states would have a conversation and probably not have done what Florida did.
Got
But
it. Okay.
Florida hid behind it, and that to me is alarming. They hid behind the compact, they emboldened that, I thought they emboldened themselves, they just didn't want to say no. But if they wanted to say no, they didn't feel like they had to do it.
Okay.
I didn't like it.
Thanks, fair.
Yeah.
I agree with it.
So I believe the spirit of the compact is to do what's best for the child.
Right.
And the compact gives local education authorities tremendous flexibility in their ability to do what's right for the child. So I would agree with forwarding this up for discussion amongst the broader committee. Because I think that in this case, what was right for the child may not have been done.
So. Right. So Dr. Shandor, I felt like you made a motion,
Not officially, it was more of
a recommendation.
yes.
Are you considering making a motion?
Yes, I'd like to make a motion that this board move forward the language that Mr. Dunham shared related to making modifications to provide opportunities for students in various states to, what's the language I'm looking for? To have the flexibility to, I'm not sure what the exact language is. I'm
Define
sorry.
types of,
Yep.
So long as it meets the requirements.
That's exactly what I said.
Yeah, that's what I heard.
do I have a second for that motion?
Second.
All right,
Madam Chair, could you
Second.
make the motion?
yes, I'd be happy to. Superintendent Shandor, do you want to repeat your motion?
So, you
Sure, they're making a motion for us to make a recommendation to the National Military Commission to adjust the definition of diploma to type of diploma, so that when a child transfers from one state to another, such as the case when the child moved from Virginia to Florida, that there is a discussion about diploma type, not just standardizing diploma. So if a child was on track in Virginia to get an advanced diploma, that opens up the conversation with Florida to look at their graduation with honors or something along those lines, or an advanced diploma in another state if that's available. It allows that conversation to happen, where in the space with this Virginia senior, the conversation was not willing to be happened because Florida did not recognize different diploma types in the compact.
All right, so I'll take it, and we'll create an,
Do we need to fully vote on that
Yeah,
motion? Okay, all
Sorry.
right. All those in favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, we will ask Mr. Dunham to move forward with taking that recommendation to the National Council. All right, next is our favorite job. Oh, you have more for the,
Yeah.
I apologize. I am getting ahead of myself. Sorry, Mr. Dunham.
Well, we also had an opportunity to be recognized at the annual business meeting, as you can see by the screen up there. I was able to highlight the state. They really wanted to know about this council. They wanted to know how our council looks. You know, who's on the council, what kind of things you all do. And so I took the opportunity to sort of highlight the fact that, well, what I like to think of when I'm in my role is I leverage champions. Each one of you is a champion, as are the people behind me and alongside me. And so I focused on how I do that, how I try to communicate on a regular basis with you, how I engage with people frequently, how I involve people, how I always look for talent. And I help people grow in their own world and knowledge of the compact and what they could do for military connected children. So I thought we ended those sessions or this little transition, if you will, at state highlights. And so I thought we ended on a really good note because it's all about collaboration, right, in the state of Virginia. And so you have two different documents in your little packet there. They look like this. There's their process graphic, infographics. And so during last year's ABM, I got some communication from Michelle Norman, the council member, about the case resolution process they were talking about and the public comment process. And she said that it was very hard for her to understand how that looks and that there's no dates or time frame, no timetables and things like that. So she requested that the rules committee, when looking at case resolution, kind of consider those kinds of things. And they came up with these really nice graphics. And so I'm making a note on record here that because of Mrs. Norman's comments and because of the comments that I made when we were looking at these during subcommittee meetings, that Virginia had input on these. And so I think that this is better now for the public. I don't think it kind of captured everything Michelle was looking for, but it is a step in the right direction. So looking forward to those being available for folks. So that's the slide you see up above. For those of you that might not have it in front of you, that's the last one. And I think, Kevin, we have.
And we'll make sure Senator Locke gets.
Yeah, we get a copy of these. I'll send her my entire presentation.
Okay.
Can we move on next to the last item? And this is a hefty one. So we are not yet prepared to make a vote on this today. I just want to bring it to your attention. And then if you, have any questions or concerns about it, you have some documents in there right now, kind of highlights where we are in the state of Virginia, but this kind of sums it all up. So we pay dues every year. Every state pays dues to the National Office Commission so that this pays for the operations of the commission. Again, to do those kinds of things we need to do to make sure all states have what they need to support a military connected children in the continental United States and across the world. And it's becoming very expensive. Things have risen. Dues have not. Dues haven't been raised for at least 10 years now. And so we need to play catch up. The commission has a reserve, but for the last 2 years, we've had to go into the reserve to keep the national office going. And so the finance committee says you can't keep doing that. You can't keep taking out of that bucket. It'll eventually be drawn down to where you won't have a reserve. And the Commission of State Governments, the CSG, we pay them, the national office pays them 10% to help us kind of with all the things you do administratively for running a commission like this. And they recommend having that reserve in case of emergencies or expenditures or one-time kind of expenditure. If we want to do some special project or a review of something or whatever have you. So we don't want to deplete our reserves. So what they're saying, the finance committee had said and notified all commissioners that we're next year recommending an increase in a per student rate from 115 to 178. Now, what does that mean for Virginia? That means an increase of 52% in dues for beginning fiscal year 2027. And so we're gonna go from 69,000 to 128,479. We don't have a maximum. When they change this rate, they're not going to set a maximum. They're only going to set a minimum at 4,000. So other states, and you'll see that on that one sheet there. You'll see other states that have low numbers of military connected children. They just pay that flat minimum, which is $4,000. It's going up from 2,300 to 4,000. Virginia will go up to a rate of 1.78 without a maximum. So if all the military connected children across the nation want to come and stay in Virginia, we're gonna be paying a whole lot of money. But again, Virginia takes pride in supporting military connected children, and we benefit from this compact being in place. And so if we have a lot more military connected children moving from Virginia across the other states. And so we need this apparatus to assist us. And then from fiscal year 27 all the way through fiscal year 2034, there'll be a 4% increase if needed. So each year, the Finance Committee will continue to do their analysis and review of expenditures and things of that nature. I anticipate for at least 5 years, you're going to see 4% each year for the next 5 fiscal years. So we have a biennium coming up. So all this has to be in play and taken to the General Assembly to discuss. And that is the responsibility of this agency. So we'll be working with the budget team here, giving them this information. And so hopefully by April, we will let you know what those conversations were like with the agency, and you all will have an opportunity to tell me how to vote, whether you want me to
And
approve.
Dave, my understanding is you just found out about this last week.
We just found out last week.
So last week, a 1.15 to a 1.78, which
Yeah.
is almost doubles. Almost doubles, and because we have more military connected children that we're proud of.
Right.
We're paying a greater increase than Texas or California.
Absolutely, just based on numbers. Now that could shift, right? The military can move their people wherever they want to move their
Right.
people.
I
But
just want to give context to
That's
the
right,
audience
but-
in our conversation last
right,
week.
if you look at the minimum went from 2,300 to 4,000. That's pretty significant. That's at $1,700. So in terms of percentages, it's all relative. So. Okay, it's just for an awareness. I just want to make sure you know of the next meeting. It's important that everyone be here so we can have a robust conversation and learn a little bit more about how the agency is going to approach this with our General Assembly.
Yeah, Madam Chair. Oh, sorry. go
Yeah,
ahead.
no, go ahead. I just think, Dan, bringing robust information and making sure that the committee is prepared. This is very helpful, but the reason why we talked last night about not making a vote today is none of us had a chance to even look at this or have a conversation. So I think for me, making sure the entire committee has a lot of information and a lot of context would be really helpful. They'll get class.
Thank you, Dr. Prince. So I'm assuming that this ask wouldn't even come until 2026. So we're not in, and we'll be on a whole new, we'll be making a budget
That's
at that
right.
point. So I think.
So way ahead of the game,
Way
we
ahead.
need to vote. I need to know how to vote during the next ABM.
To be ready for the next
That's right.
governor and administration that comes in. I'm just like saying big picture. I think
Yes,
that
that's
it's
right.
beautiful that we're talking about this right now.
Yes. Yeah, and I know Senator Log, it's hard for you to see, but this is for FY 2027. So Dan is bringing it to us as soon as possible so that we have plenty of time to have the conversation. Thank you, Delegate Class. Other thoughts or comments from?
All right, we're finished with that. So Kevin, if you can help me get out and back and move on to we're going to move on to Virginia Purple Star Schools designation, which is always a highlight of my year. Really is. So move on to the next slide for me, Cliff, Ken, please. So here we are. These are some of the members of the MISPAT are in this room today. And for those of you who've never heard of MISPAT, it stands for Military Student Support Process Action Team. It's a model I stole from Fairfax County Public Schools. And it's basically my brain trust. These are folks that I consider them my team. So when I need something or I need an opinion about something, these are the people that I call and I engage with on a regular basis. As you can see, many of them are school liaison officers, but we do have representatives that are not listed during this review, but they're on the MISPAT that come from Virginia Beach City Public Schools, Prince William County Public Schools, Fairfax County Public Schools, and so on and so forth. And we also have military spouses that serve on the council. Ms. Michelle Norman is a member of the council now. When she serves on the MISPAT, when she serves on the council, she sort of has to take a step back because of the conflict of interest on reviewing the applications that she can be voting to approve. But we are always looking to add military spouses onto this MISPAT. And so if you know of great people who really are committed and want to attend, I encourage you to forward their names and give me a little bit of a background on their talents, and we will engage with them. But I want to just take this moment to thank these folks. This year, this team reviewed 198 applications. That was the most we've ever received. It's up by about 35% over last year, which was that year was the highest we've ever received. And so it's just wonderful. So move on to the next slide. So out of the 198, I hope to share with you now the nominations of 183 of those who either were selected or nominated by these reviewers during the first pass of the application. And then during the second pass, BDOE staff reviews the appeals. And we added additional schools based on their appeals. As I read through these names of schools, I want you to take notice of those with an asterisk that's in red. That means that they are receiving their award for the second time. And those in blue will be receiving their award for the third time. And this means that those receiving it for the third time will be going on their moving towards their 9th year. So they had at least been active for 6 years. And if you know anything about organizations, if something lasts for more than 5 years, it's culturally significant. And so we have a large number of schools in Virginia that are thankful for this program, believe in this program, see great tremendous value, not only for military connected students, but for all students in their schools. And I think that's due in large part because of the hard work that Virginia did on the front end in developing a program that we believe would be helpful to schools, especially as they develop better school climate practices and we're enforcing the need for connection between students and staff. So without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and read out these names, and that's going to take me a while. So, all right, so move back, Kevin. I didn't read the first ones. So we have Albemarle County Public Schools. We have Baker Butler Elementary School and Lakeside Middle. We have Arlington County Public Schools with Cardinal Elementary School, Washington Liberty High School, Gunston Middle, Alexandria City Public Schools, Samuel W. Tucker Elementary School. Next slide, please. Chesapeake Public Schools, I'll do my best to read that. So B.M. William Primary, that's their third award. Butts Road Intermediate School, looking for their second award. Camelot Elementary School, third award. Cedar Road Elementary School, third award. Crestwood Intermediate, second award. Deep Creek Central Elementary School, third award. Deep Creek Elementary, second award. Deep Creek High School, second award. Deep Creek Middle School, third award. E.W. Chittum Elementary School, second award. G.A. Treckle Elementary School, second award. Strickle, sorry. Georgetown Primary, second award. Grassfield Elementary, third award. Grassfield High School, third award. Great Bridge Intermediate, second award. Great Bridge Primary School, second award. Great Greenbrier Primary School, second award. Hickory High School, second award. Hickory Middle School, third award. Indian River High School, third award. Oscar Smith High School, third award. Brenna B. Wright, second award. Southeastern Elementary, third award. Southwestern Elementary, second award. Sparrow Intermediate, second award. Thorogood Marshall Elementary, second award. Western Branch High School, third award. Western Branch Intermediate School, second award. Western Branch Primary School, second award. Next slide, Fairfax County Public Schools. And by the way, Chesapeake is maintaining their Purple Star School status. It was no easy lift, and that's why you see a lot of schools there. Their first go at it, they got all those schools selected, so they're on that cycle. So this is going to happen. If they get their fourth award, we're going to see the same schools. All of those we're going to have to read again during their fourth award. But Fairfax County Public Schools is after it as well. Their superintendent really wants all their schools to be Purple Star designated, and this is evidence of her asking for students, the schools to take on all of the requirements, and so it's working. Here we are, Bryn Mawr Park Elementary School, Rush Hill Elementary School, Cameron Elementary School, second award. Chantilly High School, Cherry Run Elementary School, Claremont Elementary School, third award. Columbia Elementary, Cooper Middle School, Deer Park Elementary, Dransfield Elementary School, Fairfax High School, Fairview Elementary School, third award. Flint Hill Elementary, third award. Forest Dale Elementary School, Fort Belvoir Primary, third award. Fort Belvoir Upper School, third award. Both of those are located on Fort Belvoir. Haycock Elementary School, Holland Meadows Elementary School, Hunt Valley Elementary School, third award. Island Creek Elementary School, second award. John R. Lewis High School, Keene Mill Elementary School, second award. Little Run Elementary School, Mount Eagle Elementary School, Newington Forest Elementary School, Oak View Elementary School, Oakton High School, Ode Creek Elementary School, Ravensworth Elementary School, second award. I always think that sounds like something from Harry Potter. Riverside Elementary School, Sangster Elementary School, third award. Union Mill Elementary School, second award. Wackles Mill Elementary School, Waynewood Elementary School, third award. White Oaks Elementary School. For Falls Church City Public Schools, this was their first time applying.
Okay.
And the division said, we are going to be a Purple Star School Division. And they were after it. Their application was truly amazing, and it's a model. If any school division leaders listening in on this, if you call me, I will give you an example of an excellent division-wide application and take it on. Because I think it's lovely. Here we are. Jesse Thackeray Preschool, Mary Ellen Henderson Middle School, Meriden High School, Mount Daniel Elementary School, and Oak Street Elementary School are all the schools in Falls Church, and they all are nominated. Gloucester County Public Schools also achieved during this iteration, if you all vote to approve them, with the addition of Page Middle School. Hetsworth Elementary School was looking for their second award. Hampton City Public Schools, again, another school division who's after it, trying to really improve the landscape there in their school division supporting military connected children. So we have Barron Fundamental Elementary School, Hunter B. Andrews, Kilgore Gifted Center, Phoebus High School, and Tarrant Middle School. And in Henrico County Public Schools, we have Henry Ward Elementary School. And I went to do a presentation last April with the counselors who put it on for the families there, and they really are after it. Henrico County Public Schools, believe it or not, we do have military connected students in Central Virginia, and Henrico County recognizes that, and this particular school is really doing a wonderful job of supporting military connected children. Then we have Isle of Wight County Public Schools, Carsville Elementary, and now we have King George County. King George County, it's like Falls Church. they're after it. And so they're supporting military connected children in a good way. And if you're familiar with military installations across Virginia, we have Dahlgren that sits in King George County Public Schools. So it's really important that they are supporting military connected children. And I consider them a bedroom community as well, as you can get to DC from the Maryland side across the bridge. So we have King George County Elementary, King George High School, King George Middle School, Potomac Elementary, and Silson Elementary School. And then Loudoun County Public Schools, another school division who's after it. They have Brambleton Middle School with their second award, Broad Run High School, Little River Elementary School, River Bend Middle School, second award, and Stonebridge High School. And I think the former superintendent for Virginia Beach City Public Schools is now the superintendent at Loudoun, so no wonder they're after it. Newport News City Public Schools, another school division who's really trying to change the landscape. For their second award, we have General Stanford Elementary School. And for Norfolk City Public Schools, another school division who's after it. Great, I'm hearing great things coming out of Norfolk recently. Bayview Elementary School, second award, Tarleton Elementary School, and I'm questioning whether or not they're not on their second award. So I don't know why the star is not there, but I'm gonna go back and check on that. Willward Model School. And then for Portsmouth City Public Schools, just like Norfolk, very much after it. And that's due in large part because of the wonderful school liaison officer. I think she's in here. She's working really hard with that school division and it's showing. So we have Wrighton Elementary School, Churchland High School, Craddock Elementary School, Douglas Park Elementary School, W. Waters Middle School, and Waterview Elementary School. So moving on, we have another large school division who's after it, and that's Kimberly Simpson, who used to be a school liaison officer at Quantico, is now working with Prince William County Public Schools as their ME. So they have a military student family specialist. And that is Kimberly Simpson, and so Kimberly is really supportive. So Ashland Elementary School, second award, Cedar Point Elementary School, Garfield High School, George G. Tyler Elementary School, J.W. Alfrey Elementary School, Martin Luther King Jr. Elementary School, Mary G. Porter Traditional School, Osborne Park High School, Parkside Middle, third award, Patty Elementary, third award, Ronald Reagan Middle School, the Nokesville School, and Triangle Elementary School. And then for Spotsylvania County Public Schools, this is the influence of the school liaison officer out of Quantico, working with the next two school systems, Battlefield Elementary School, Battlefield Middle School, Berkeley Elementary School, Cedar Forest Elementary School, Chancellor Elementary, Chancellor High School, Portland High School, Freedom Middle School, Harrison Road Elementary School, Livingston Elementary School, Massaponax High School, Nye River Middle, Parkside Elementary, second award, Post Oak Middle, Riverview Elementary School, second award, Smith Station Elementary School, Spotswood Elementary School, second award, Spotsylvania Elementary School, Spotsylvania High School. And then for Stafford County Public Schools, I think they achieved this last year. They received this Purple Star School Division designation, and they're maintaining it with Conway Elementary School, third award, Falmouth Elementary School, and then Rocky Run Elementary School, third award. And Falmouth might have gotten it before too, so I have to check on that. And then we have Suffolk County Public Schools. Again, school division is working with their schools to try to get them on board, and Melissa supports that school division as well, so it's showing. We have Colonel Fred Cherry Middle School and Elephants Fork Elementary School that has made it to the nomination. And then moving on to Virginia Beach City Public Schools, we have Bayside High School, third award, Brandon Middle School, third award, College Park Elementary School, second award, Corporate Landing Elementary School, Corporate Landing Middle School, third award, First Colonial High School, Floyd E. Kellum High School, third award, Great Neck Middle School, second award, Hermitage Elementary School, third award, Kempsville High School, second award, Kingston Elementary School, second award, Lansdowne Middle. It didn't come down, it should have. Third award, Lincoln Park Elementary School, third award, Malibu Elementary School, second award, Newcastle Elementary School, North Landing Elementary School, third award, Princess Anne Elementary School, second award, Princess Anne High School, second award, Salem Elementary School, second award, Sheldon Park Elementary School, third award, Virginia Beach Middle School. Third award, W.T. Cook Elementary School, second award, and Woodstock Elementary School, second award. Somebody was happy about that. Maybe it's because we're now seeing York County Public Schools. We also have, it's open up to Virginia private schools. And so we have the following private schools: Alexandria County Day School, second award, Atlantic Shores Christian School, Cape Henry Collegiate, Our Lady of Mount Carmel School, third award. St. Gregory the Great Catholic School, second award, St. Rita School, St. Louis Catholic School, second award, St. Thomas Aquinas Regional School, and Star of the Sea Catholic School, second award. And I will tell you, these private schools contact me when the application is coming through, and they really are on top of their game. It's wonderful to see that happening out in the community, that these families that are going to these schools are receiving all the support, the great support that our public schools are receiving. And then we have Williamsburg, James City County Public Schools, Jamestown High School is coming on board this year, which is wonderful. And then for York County Public Schools, happy to say that with this list, they're maintaining their Purple Star School Division. So if I was a superintendent, I'd be very proud of them too. High School, Coventry Elementary School, third award, Grafton, Bethel Elementary School, third award, Magruder Elementary, and Tab Middle School. Phew, third award. So, Madam Chair, those are the list of schools. So take it from here, it'd be great.
Well, I'm really impressed that we have that many schools with commitment to our children and commitment to making sure our military connected children have that kind of support. It's wonderful not only to see those schools, but to see those Purple Star divisions. And as you know, Mr. Dunham, I challenge a lot of our school divisions to become Purple Star divisions, and I'm hopeful we will see even more divisional awards next year. So is there a motion to approve the list of schools as presented?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Discussion.
For the good of the order, right? Because I realize that you said every school out loud, not just for us in the room, for anybody in prosperity too. Becoming a Purple Star school or a school division requires support services, liaisons, PD, being on the website. What am I missing?
Student
And
engagement.
transition, all of these things have, because they have to, I just wanted to say that out loud, that it's not a small thing. There's a lot of things that sort of, the whistle pride that goes into just being one of these schools. And I think it's something that's truly attainable.
Agreed.
I think it's something that's true. I'm sitting here looking at the school division. I think we have a significant number in our school district. And I'm saying this because I'm also querying, where do we find the number in the district? Is that district, because I think ours was like 8,000 at one point, served military connected kids, just for size of districts that.
Do we post that anywhere, the number of military connected students per division?
It is, just like any data that we collect, you can go to our build a table.
So they'd have to build a
portal.
table.
Okay.
We have a table, and then you can designate or tag, pull out how many military people. Now, know that is not going to be real-time data.
No.
That's going to be delayed data. The council does receive a report during closed session on what we are able to gather at the time of our meeting.
I asked that just from a place of understanding the amount of privilege and the microphone that I hold to, and being able to have a conversation about encouraging the districts that I love and support to be a part of how we can be of service and making it happen.
Well, these ladies and gentlemen behind me are megaphones. And so they're out there broadcasting the importance of it as well. And it is kind of making a change in schools, and we'll let the superintendent of the school division talk about what's happening in this Purple Star school. I've seen it myself. I've talked to the kids.
I imagine it's
I
good
see
for the culture overall too,
Yeah.
like not just for those connected students, listening in that and working with intent. It's not just a service to the students that are service connected, but it creates a culture throughout the, at least I've seen the difference in Purple Star schools in my own experiences.
That's delightful.
Yeah, I would agree. I mean, we're all trying to promote a culture of care. We don't want kids sitting at the lunch tables by themselves. We don't, I mean, none of us want that. And I can tell you in our schools, we're really proud of the work that we've done there. But you're right, it's a collective commitment from everyone. It's a collective commitment from the families, it's a collective commitment from the kids, the staff members. We have a liaison that works very closely with our folks in York County, with all of our naval bases, all of our military bases. And we're really proud of that work. We also, in our division, you mentioned about how can I get that percentage? We could talk after the meeting. I can share a little more with you about that. But when we look at our subgroup data, for example, we use military impacted children as a subgroup. So when we look for student connectedness, we want to make sure our military connected kids are in clubs, are in athletics, or in the band, or in theater, all those types of things. We want to make sure that we're making sure they're aware of it, making sure there's access to it as well. So that's something that we review on a monthly basis.
Nothing else, I'll be quiet.
Fantastic. Thank you for sharing.
Any other discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstaining? Well, I want to give a huge congratulations to all the school committees recognized here. As Delegate Glass said, this is not an easy task. It is a true commitment to our children and a culture of care. As Superintendent Shandor said, it is an honor to acknowledge the hard work of our schools and our school divisions and the dedication and effort to support our military students and their families. I just want to say a tremendous thank you. I appreciate everything everyone does to make the learning committee feel connected and learning community feel part of the family, but especially our children who move and support and serve our country through their parents. It just means a great deal to me that we make that commitment in the state. So thank you so much. Next, I have a slide that I would like to share. Superintendent Shandor spoke about military connected students as a student group. So I'd love to share with you, we talked a little bit about attendance in our last meeting and attendance around some of the challenges for military connected children. However, I just want to shout out all of Virginia first, because Virginia is down 3.2% overall to 16.1% as a chronic absenteeism rate. And we use the federal definition as required for chronic absenteeism, which means a student misses 10% of the school year. That is a huge deal that we moved 3% as an entire state. Many states are seeing increases in chronic absenteeism, but our state is seeing more than 5 out of schools showing improvement. We have over 1,276,000 fewer absent days. What does that really mean? That means almost 9 million more hours of instruction for our students. That's a huge game changer. When we think about the impact of attendance, if a student is chronically absent, they are 18 percentage points lower on average than their peers in reading and 25 to 26 percentage points lower in mathematics. So it really means a huge difference. But the reason I'm talking about it here today is our military connected students as a student group have a better chronic absence rate than any other group, any other grade, any other region. As a whole, our military connected students have the lowest chronic absenteeism rate of 9.1, which is where the state was pre-pandemic. It's just impressive that our students who have challenges and who move have this high level of attendance, thinking about all of the events and things they need to do to support their families when things happen. I'm just incredibly proud of this. And it is a testament to some of the Purple Star work that we just talked about, the culture of care work. Superintendent Shandor talked about making sure those kids are connected and that intentionality. That is huge because that puts us in a place where we are really making an impact as a state. I'm just incredibly proud of the statistic. I've talked about it at several regional superintendent meetings across the state, not just in our regions that have a high population of military connected students, because I think there's a lot we can learn. There's a lot we can learn from this Bright Start. We do a really good job caring for our military connected students and making sure they're connected. with their culture, with their communities, with the liaisons in the room. We need to continue to think about that for some of our other student groups who are experiencing high chronic absenteeism. We have student groups in the 40%. So to look at the difference between a 9.1 percentage rate and student groups who are struggling at 40%, I'm just really proud, and I've asked some of our superintendents to look at what they're doing for our military connected youth and really capture that so we can learn good lessons. So just wanted to give a huge shout out for a minute. I know we talked a lot about attendance in our last meeting, and since we now have this data, it's my honor to share with you. Hard work pays off, and the work you're doing really makes a difference for kiddos. So thank you.
All right, Kevin, we're ready to move back to the agenda, get to the next slide. So the next item up is my update. So moving on. Next slide. So here are some new school liaison officers. Some hopefully are in the room today. So we have Miss Marcella Atwood. Marcella, can you? Good morning. Who you are? She's Navy Mid-Atlantic's Regional School Liaison Officer. And eventually she will.
No one belongs to. I have the privilege of working alongside.
And by way of Japan, we have Miss Veronica Finney. So Veronica is assigned to Joint Base Myers Henderson Hall, and she's supporting Alexandria City Public Schools, Arlington County Public Schools, and Loudoun County Public Schools. And she came just in time for our face-to-face. I'm going to talk about a peer-to-peer transition training, and so glad to have her. They have Miss Aisha Mahathi. I don't think she's here. She's new to her role. She's supporting Fairfax County Public Schools. She's working at Fort Belvoir. So I think the last time we met, we didn't get a chance to introduce her. So I just want to do that. Prince William County Public Schools and Manassas City Public Schools and Albemarle County Public Schools. And you're wondering, she's at Fort Belvoir. How is she supporting Albemarle? I don't know how she is. They do. They're required to. And I think it's because at the JAG Corps there at UVA, which is a very good school, by the way. Miss Janet Benson, right here, as Marine Corps base Quantico, and you are supporting the DEA school there mainly, but you with Ken and Ken with Prince William County. So I didn't put that on there. I should have done that. I will do that. So welcome, Miss Benson. It's our first time meeting. We have never really met face to face. And then we have Miss Taylor Hunter with Joint Base Langley Eustis. I don't think we have any of the school liaison officers from Langley, but she's joining Tara Lynn there. And they support Hampton City Public Schools, Georgia County Public Schools, and Macosin. Kevin, could you move the slide for me, please? So there's a new Canvas course. We don't really have time to sort of go through it, but maybe the next time we meet in April, I can show you really what that course entails. But it is now completed. Soon, I hope to see it on the virtual Virginia, because it's supposed to be there, but I checked. It's not really there. I can't search for it, so that's problematic to me. So, but it is live. I published it. I know it's live. And so that was a course that we worked with George Mason University and VDOE, and we created this wonderful course. And it's going to replace the modules 1 and module 2, supporting military students and their families courses that we require for Purple Star now. This will be the one that they're going to have to take in order to become Purple Star certified. You have to have somebody on your staff that's properly trained. And so they're gonna have to now complete this course, unless they've done some of the trainings, in the past. So there'll be like a 3-year gap here where we're gonna have some that did the old training, but some that did the new training, and Michelle is on board to get some new training. So, I want to give you an update to the peer-to-peer training for students and sponsors. We held 2 of them this summer, which is great. We held one at James Madison University's, George Mason University's main campus for Fairfax County Public Schools. That's the 2nd year of our pilot, and so more high schools came to that. And this year, the students presented. And so they had their own session, and they were presenting best practices for their peers. And so they took on some of the ownership, which is the model that we want to kind of get to. We want to first introduce everybody to the concept of what ambassador training is, and then give them an effort to showcase that. And we need to continue it, because we need to create a space for students to share. They need their learning community around us just like anybody else. And I need funds to make that happen. So mention it to you all. And then we did it again with Arlington, and that was a really quick spin. We, at first, when we rolled this out with the team at George Mason University, we were like, we hold it in June, we hold it in June, we hold it in June. And we had conversations with Stafford and Prince William County, thinking that they would come on board and come to the June training, and it didn't work. Didn't work for their teachers, didn't work for their student schedule. So we learned a lesson. You have to work with the school division. So the new model is find a time that works with at least all of the regional schools in the region, or, you know, or one or two if you can, like a hybrid model. And so when we had a conversation in August with schools in region 3 and 4, additional schools to come into the fold here, and we're having ongoing conversations, should I receive funding to do it again? To work with those schools on a timetable that works for them in their school division. So honoring their needs. And then during we had the National Purple Star Committee coming on board this week. So after this, I go to that. We are very well represented. Virginia has, I guess, four different presenters that are going to be showcased at that. And so one of them being a military spouse who's going to be talking about gifted children and supporting gifted children. Allison Krug, and some of you might know her if you've engaged with her before. There's going to be a Fairfax County Public School Student Ambassador Roundtable, where the students are going to be talking to you know, people who are participating and showcasing what they're doing. That's conducted by their family engagement specialist, Katie Server. And then we have myself and Dr. Jennifer J. Patrick with George Mason University. So we're talking about this model of collaboration with the university and BDOE and getting training like this done. And then we have closing remarks that are going to be given by yours truly. And then the next Military Child Education Coalition Global Summit took place in July through August the 21st. I participated in the pre-session breakout sessions where we talked about Purple Star programming and linked it back to data and the importance of gathering military student identifier data in a more accurate way. Not all states are doing it, you know, it correctly, like Virginia is, and so we still are trying to encourage states to do it right, and we sort of are kind of showcasing Purple Star schools as a ways or a means to reach your students and your populations, and having accurate data lets you do that. And then I also stepped in at the last moment and you know, spoke at a panel that
Somebody had two shredded tires on the way to Northern Virginia.
we had Virginia was very well highlighted in a recent Department of Defense against military families. What is it? Help me out. It's the main DoD office that oversees you all, military.
CMIC.
Not CMSC. It's a directorate. Yeah. So they paid for Penn State to do a study on state implementation of 4 initiatives to support military connected children. Virginia was included in that as being stellar on those 4 measures. And so we were invited to be a part of the panel discussion, which included the Secretariat from the Department of Defense and a senator from Ohio, and then Dr. Coons. And so, you know, we were trying to just share out what we do so that others can do a great job of supporting military connected children around the country. So, and then we have Michelle Norman. The reason why she's not here today is she's preparing to be gone from her family for quite some time this week coming up, because she's representing this council and military spouses at the Defense Communities Association Installation Innovations Conference being held in San Antonio, Texas. So she's going to talk about the same things we talked about at the MIC, you know, the Military Child Education Coalition Global Summit on the Penn State study. I gave her some great talking points for that. And she's also very well versed in just supporting her own family, and she can talk extensively about advocating on behalf of military connected children who receive special education services or who have family members, or service members are in the care of family members with disabilities. And so she'll be talking about that. And most importantly, the reason why she's representing Virginia is she's representing and trying to encourage military spouses to become civically engaged like she is at this level. And she, because of her role on the MISPAC, her role in this council, she's in a really good place to do that. And she's also presented nationally. I don't know if you all know that at Senate level hearings. So Ms. Norman, we were pleased to support Ms. Norman's involvement in that. I think that's about it. Any questions or?
Well, thank you, Mr. Dunham. I had the opportunity to speak to student ambassadors this summer and really learn about the student ambassador program in Fairfax and that some of our other school divisions are taking on. It's an incredible opportunity. I would love to have them come and speak at this event and speak to their experiences so that all of us could hear about the awesome opportunities in the student ambassadorship. We talked earlier about attendance and the connectedness. I think the program in Fairfax and the way in which they connect students in developmentally appropriate ways and have students show leadership at elementary, middle, and high school is an incredible model that we need to better understand, and would love Superintendent Shandor, if there's ways for us to think about getting that in front of other superintendents, in front of other school leaders. It's a really strong program that is a model that I don't know how we really expand and explore, but I'd love to find ways to elevate that awesome opportunity.
Yeah, I appreciate you sharing that. I wanted to see, when is the next sign up for the next opportunity for that training for?
We don't have a date yet because we don't yet have a funding model.
We need to fix that, Mr. Dunham.
I'm doing my best.
If there was gonna be a training and there was funding for it, would it be, you mentioned earlier, June didn't work. So,
Well, we would work with school divisions who are interested in participating and discuss what timetable works for them. And then we bring our university partners who, by the way, are helping me with the funding model. And so George Mason University right now is the only university involved.
Right.
And so they have funds. They are working really hard building a model they think can be replicated at other universities. But VDOE needs to, in the state, needs to put in a little bit of skin in the game, because there's a lot that goes on behind the scenes to prepare for that we need to pay the university for their time and effort.
sure. I remember, did you share a video last year?
Yes.
At the, I wonder, Dr. Coons, if that would be, something that we could potentially put on, we have the monthly regional meetings.
Yeah.
Regions 1 through whatever.
That's a great idea.
I think that would be wonderful if, I think Jeremy came to our meeting last week. That would be it's a pretty brief video too. That gives
Right. I
summation.
can bring in Dr. Jennifer Drake Patrick and myself, and we can attend virtually and talk about it.
I think that's
Especially
one-
region 2 would be a really great,
Yeah.
yeah.
I think that's one way to get the message out. But again, I think we have to include what would cost the district as well. I know there needs to be funding to support it, but is there a division responsibility as well?
I can tell you that yes, because that's important, right? And then the responsibility for the division is you have to give us time. You have to bring the sponsors there. So if you're paying for the sponsors' time, sometimes you don't because it's during the school year.
Right.
And then there's transportation cost. You have to be able to pay for the students to get there and back, but everything else is covered either through private donations, university endowment, and then VDOE dollars.
Right. And when students go to that, is it one day? Is it a few days, or how is that?
It is right now the model is one day
Okay.
and it's all day long.
Gotcha.
It's for sponsors and students.
Yeah, if we had a one pager and maybe that video to read at the superintendent regional meetings, I think that'd be one way to get the information out.
Right.
Okay.
I just think as we're replicating programs that work and have impact, it would be a good opportunity to share.
Yeah,
And
I
it sounds
think
like we have data to support it works because you just mentioned it in your attendance report.
Uh-huh, yes,
Well, and you also have the purple star designations that folks can sort of, you mentioned multiple districts who are pushing and going in that direction, so this may be a logical next step.
Appreciate it. Thank you, Dr. Fields.
Other thoughts, comments? Great. The floor is now open for any members of the public who wish to address the council. Mr. Dunham, are there members of the public who wish to provide comments?
None were made known to me, ma'am, not either via email or in person today.
Is there anyone who would like to make public comments who might not have had the opportunity to submit a request earlier? Okay, I'm going to turn it over to the floor, to the council members as an opportunity to address your ideas, concerns, and questions and how we address issues of importance and interest for future council meetings.
I have a issue I would like to bring up, and there was feedback from 2 military families, and they were affected by certain policies by Langley High School in Fairfax County. So those 2 families, they PCS to the Northern Virginia area last summer. And as the military members will know, during military PCI season, usually family arrive at a new location somewhere around the late July, early August. So which caused them their children to miss majority of those school sport tryout time. And so those 2 families that their children, one would like to try out for the Langley High School football team, and one family daughter would like to try it out for the Langley High School volleyball team. Because of the PCI schedule, they were not able to meet the tryout date. So they communicated with the school and see if they would give their children a second chance, and they were denied of such request. So in a lot of military families, they really treat athletic development, as a pretty high priority in of a military culture. And, my family saying, and I've seen all my peers, their children involved in athletic development in school. So it was disheartening for those 2 families that were not given the opportunity to try out, because they explained it, we're a military family, we didn't come over here, arrived or in PCI's location until after the tryout date was over. They would not give them a chance. So wondering if there's as a department from the state level can send a message to each school division to allow them to change their policy, allow military connected children to try out for sport, even after they miss the tryout date.
Well, they're supposed to under the compact. So that's a violation of the compact. So the next time you hear of a family who might be experiencing a challenge like that,
We're happy to reach out to
we're
the
happy to
superintendent.
reach out to the school and engage.
Yep.
Yes.
I do want to mention, Dan fields a ton of these
Yeah.
situations and immediately responds and reaches out and reminds the principal, the superintendent as needed of any violations of the compact. So please have and spread the word that Dan does an amazing job. He has leveled a couple of different situations up to myself, up to Chief of Strategy Rayleigh. Both of us have called superintendents before, reminded them of their requirements. So we definitely have a network and a support in place. So as we are hearing of things, we have to be good stewards and make sure we get them to Dan. So please help us make sure we get them to know.
And ma'am, I would say, I don't even hear half of it.
Right.
Most of it's handled by the folks behind me. The school liaison officers get wind of something, because the families come and talk to them. And they engage with their school divisions that they have strong relationships with, and they work it out at the grassroots level before it even comes. It only comes to me when it's complicated like that, Florida.
So these 2 families, they didn't know about this resource, like compact or the school liaison officer, and happened to be, I was looking at the Purple Star, Langley High School was not awarded Purple Star, and the people have the structure to
Yeah.
provide such support. And also, like, more importantly, families just not aware of such resource where they can leverage that. By the time I heard about it, it was many months afterwards.
Yeah.
And the season's already well over and there's nothing we can do about.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. That
Right.
makes me sad.
Well, part of that is the awareness piece, so if the superintendent wasn't made aware of it or others,
Sure.
sometimes parents will just stop.
Yeah.
Once they're told no.
Right, it's not
Sometimes
a
some of our
school level.
families will stop. What I would encourage, our athletic directors are good folks and they know athletics, but sometimes they may not have a full grasp or understanding of, certain policies.
Uh-huh.
And I would be shocked if there were athletic directors that understood the military impact. I mean, would you agree?
Yes.
So, potentially, I would just say at least 3 times a year, maybe we can orchestrate a communication. I get VHSL emails every other day.
Right,
They send them every other day. So I think if at least fall, winter, spring, summer, maybe that there's a blurb in there because we all get them, soups get them, chief officers, athletic directors, principals. There's a lot of folks who get those. That may be a good way to remind people that if you get a situation like that, what your obligation should be. And if they do get that situation, they'll think, okay, I'll just call someone, because we have folks in our division that who work through these situations all the time. But there may be school divisions across the state that just don't particularly deal with that type of situation sometimes. So
That's
I
really good.
think putting some communication out there,
Absolutely.
quarterly would help.
Yeah, I think specifically around the summertime, around the PCI season, which is like
Absolutely.
July, August, June, July, August, during that season, before the school's athletic tryout start, like say early July. Have the message sent to the school divisions, have the school division push the message out to each school's athletic director and make sure that doesn't happen again.
Yeah, and July's a tricky month because some school divisions don't have athletic directors that work 12 months. So many of them may not be at work.
Okay, so
But,
probably more advanced than that.
I think,
Yeah, they may be out 16, 17 days in the summer, and typically it's July, so there may be a miscommunication. They're out of the office, then a coach gets this, and I'll be honest with you, fall sports are hard. You have, cheerleading starting, you have field hockey, football, cross country, all of those sports. There's kids all over the campus in the summer. And the athletic director may not be there for that 3 or 4 week window before they come back to meet their contracts obligations. So the more we communicate this, I think the better.
yeah, I think we have normal cycles where we bring up awareness about military connected students and families and their needs. And sometimes we do that during the month of April. And then we do it again in September when we do New Start Families Month. And then in November, we hear from sound newsletters to school counselors about the month of the military family, Veterans Day and things like that. And so there's opportunities there to kind of just tie those along.
Well, Dan, Dr. Ray serves on VHSL
Yeah, okay.
for the department, so we can make sure we push military compact
Yeah.
information out to be.
Now,
able to know.
some states on their council have a representative, their high school, whatever on the council. Another solution.
Other information from the council, other updates?
I just wanted to acknowledge something that you said earlier that's worth acknowledging. You started off by saying, I'm a problem solver and
Yeah.
a creative thinker. And I think that sometimes get lost when we're in these spaces. So I just wanted to express some gratitude for you, one, owning that you're a problem solver and creative thinker, and then coming to us to the table with a solution. We really appreciate that.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you so much.
Dan solves a lot of problems a lot.
At home too.
Yeah, I'm sure. Well, I want to thank all of our speakers, all of our guests, and everyone's commitment to the children in Virginia. Most importantly, because we honor our military connected children in this meeting, our military connected children and all the audience does, and everything that you do across the Commonwealth means a great deal. At this time, the council will enter into a closed session to review military student identifier data related to the compact. Do I have a motion to enter into closed session? So. And a second?
Second.
Thank you. All right, we will now enter into a closed session. The military
to the best of the knowledge, one and only public business matters lawfully exempted from the open meeting requirements by Virginia law are discussed in closed meeting in which this certification resolution applies, and two, only such public business matters as were identified in the motion convening the closed sessions were heard, discussed, or considered by the Virginia Council. In accordance with the Freedom of Information Act, there shall be a roll call vote on the resolution. All in favor of adopting, that's you, is that me? That's your part. Or-
All in favor of adopting the resolution, please vote aye. All opposed, vote nay. We have to do a member by member vote for this. Tien?
Aye.
Delegate Glass?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, great. That's it. She's gone. Yes.